Alright, let's start with the obvious question. How does a movie that hasn't even finished its global release already cross $1 billion at the box office? That's the wild reality for Nolan's The Odyssey, a film that's somehow still accelerating while most blockbusters are already in their DVD selling phase. Think about that, Nolan's already made $1 billion, and we're still weeks away from China and Japan openings. If you're a studio exec, this isn't just a win, it's a masterclass in how to weaponize global audiences while everyone else scrambles to understand why their movie flopped in Jakarta. Personally, I think this is the first time a director's name alone has functioned like a global currency. When you slap Nolan on a poster, you're not selling a movie, you're selling an event. And events, my friends, recession-proof. Now, let's dissect the numbers, but with a twist. The film's split is 43% domestic and 57% international. That might not sound shocking until you realize The Dark Knight Rises, the current Nolan record holder, made 62% of its money in the US. So why the shift? What's fascinating here is how Nolan's become the unifying force for international audiences who usually ignore American cinema. In France, they are spending more on The Odyssey than they did on Tenet, despite that film's Parisian setting. In Saudi Arabia, it's outperforming Marvel movies. Why? Because Nolan doesn't make American films, he makes human films. His themes are universal: time, memory, survival. You don't need to understand English idioms to feel the weight of a ticking clock in a war room. In my opinion, this is the future of global blockbusters, directors who can tell stories that aren't just translated but felt across cultures. But wait, let's talk about IMAX. The article says tickets are selling like hotcakes, but here's the deeper play: Nolan's films aren't just watched, they are experienced. If you're lucky enough to snag a seat, you're not just a viewer, you're a participant in this collective sensory overload. What many people don't realize is that IMAX premium pricing is quietly propping up the entire theatrical model right now. For every $30 ticket sold, studios see a ripple effect: concessions, merch, FOMO-driven sequels. Nolan's not just a filmmaker, he's a lifeline for multiplexes drowning in $5 streaming subs. And let's be honest, the guy's cracked the code by making practical effects feel like a luxury product. When was the last time you saw a poster for a movie that didn't feature a superhero or a dinosaur and still made $1 billion? Exactly. Now, here's the twist most headlines are missing: The Odyssey's success isn't just about Nolan or Homer. It's about how audiences are rebelling against the algorithmic fatigue of franchise cinema. Think about it, this year's biggest hits, Spider-Man, Brand New Day, Deadpool and Wolverine, are all legacy IP, but The Odyssey stands apart. No Marvel logos. No post-credits stings. Just a director betting that people are starved for new mythologies told with old-school spectacle. A detail I find fascinating? The film's top markets, UK, France, Germany, are the same ones where streaming penetration is highest. Translation: the people who could easily pirate this film are choosing to pay for it, twice, in some cases. Why? Because they are not buying a ticket, they are buying a memory. And memories don't exist on your hard drive. Finally, let's zoom out. The article ends with a joke about Dunesday, two massive films dropping the same day. But here's the thing, that's not a joke, it's a warning. The Odyssey's billion-dollar sprint proves that audiences aren't saturated, they are just bored. If you give them something that feels tactile, urgent, and unrepeatable, they'll show up. But the moment studios go back to churning out sequel bait with CGI'd out-of-a-can visuals, the spell breaks. This raises a deeper question: is the future of cinema tied to auteurs who treat scale as an art form, not a spreadsheet? Nolan's proved he's not just a director, he's a cultural architect. And if you're Warner Brothers, Disney, or Universal, the lesson is clear: bet on the visionaries, not the focus groups. Because right now, the only thing audiences fear more than spoilers is feeling nothing at all.